Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. North America, or wherever you may find yourself. I'm Silver Sterling, and are you ready for a mystery? Hexaco Motor Oils presents the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour, sponsored by Hexaco. Tonight, we bring you tales from the gritty streets of Chicago with Gun for Hire.
If there's one thing you need to know about the alleyways in Chicago, is that there's a lot of twists and turns. And if there's two things you need to know about the alleyways in Chicago, is that you don't walk through them unless you're looking for trouble. And the third thing, it's the secrets they hold. The saying goes, seeing is believing. For folks scraping by in Chicago in 1933, if they can't hold it in their hands, it's phonus, balonus, and a waste of their time. But for Grace Gunn or Shamus and her three compadres, they might start seeing things with their peepers they don't want to believe. And what they are getting themselves into could be just like those alleyways, with twists and turns, and even a dead end or three.
There's blood on my leather gloves, and a bruise above my right eye. My left side feels like I got run over by a cattle car, and all the cattle. But I'm not out of gas. I promised this palooka a show. Some of us don't arrive in this world with the want or desire to beat the brakes off of another. But life always tightens the screws, backs us into a corner and forces us down where we have to take our swing. Once we learn to fight, we learn a truth about ourselves. Are we the type to charge in blind as a fool's heart? Or do we cheese it with bobs to the outside? Do we become dangerous, able to take a beating until our opponent makes a mistake? Like life, fighting is as much mental as physical. In a cruel, cold ring of ropes, on an earthly canvas mat, we fight not only our opponent, but ourselves. We discover who we really are, what we believe, where we place our faith. Fighting is ugly, dark, messy, full of fear, self-doubt, pain. But so is life. Cowards turn and hide from it, but fighters? We clench our fists tight against the fear, grit our teeth and push hard through the pain. We face problems head on. No, it ain't easy. It's old-fashioned elbow grease and hard work. We tuck in that chin, keep our guards up, dig deep, pounding away at the problem till we crack it, or it cracks us. Real fighters get hit hard, keep on going. They fire back on all eight, embrace their flaws, embrace failures, embrace fears. It's our fuel, our fire. We project all that fear and weakness on others. Still listening, Pally? Good, 'cause here's a dime tip. Even the best break, even the best crack like a Roscoe barking hot metal on a still night. There aren't no ifs in life or in fight. When you win, you win. When you lose, you lose. But you don't lose till you give up. So when life rings that bell, you gonna let it sucker punch you down like a two-bit bum? Or get up and give it the full Broderick?
cut to Bam Bam. So he comes running down the last bits of stairs, and you're like right there. And he looks at you. He's like, "Hey, we don't want no trouble."
Who's we? Got a mouse in your pocket?
You see him kind of instinctively glance up to the apartments, and then he just kind of gives that crap squint in his eyes, like he shouldn't have said that. He's like, hey, we didn't do it.
See, I think you got a story to tell, and I'm all ears. And as long as I'm all ears, I'm not all fists.
You see him his eyes kind of give you a once over as he assesses your size versus his size. Cut back to Grace and Miles, and he says, "Okay, look, we came here. We were coming here, and we were just gonna, just we were gonna have like a little party. We knew that she had some booze, and so yeah, me and my buddy, we're just gonna come and have a party,
So you knew the woman that lived here?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, we knew her, sort of. I mean, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well, I mean, we knew that she, like we had heard that she, had a lot of, she had a lot of, well, she kind of was running like a kind of like a speakeasy kind of thing, and selling, bootleg stuff. That's so we were, we were coming here for that.
Did you come here often for that?
We cut back to Bam Bam, and he says, "Okay, look, we didn't do it. All right, we didn't do it, and I'm not looking to get in any trouble. Okay."
Tommy starts taking off his trench coat.
Okay.
You're looking a little cold there. Here, why don't you put this on?
Hey.
No, put it on.
Why?
Cracks his knuckles. Put it on.
Hey, look, okay, all right, look, man. So we cut back to Grace and Miles. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we've occasionally from time to time, yeah. I mean, the other guy, he left. I just kind of hung out. I just stayed here. I was just in the bathroom. Just in the bathroom. But then you guys came in. How come you guys are here? Were you coming here to party then too?
No, we weren't here to party. We saw something a couple of nights ago that we just needed to come and investigate. And, well, like I said, there's an awful lot of blood on the floor. Something obviously happened. Yeah, something happened. I don't, like I said, I don't even know what it was. It's, Was there anything strange about the place when you came in? Help me out here. I'm trying to understand what's going on.
He nervously glances towards the kitchen, and he says, no, nothing too weird,
So what went on in the kitchen? You're glancing at the kitchen. What's special about the kitchen?
Well, I mean, there's like you said, there's there's a lot of blood in the kitchen, and I just don't. And he looks at the door. I didn't.
Eyes on me, buddy. Eyes on me.
Cut back to Bam Bam.
No, you look cold. Keep telling your story.
If I put the coat on, are you going to hit me or something? Or
is he putting the coat on?
He's putting the coat on.
Good, because it's covered in blood. Because the blood that was on Grace when I picked her up and slung her over my shoulder would be all over the coat. And I want him wearing that, not me.
he looks at the coat, and then he like sees the blood, and he looks back up at you, and you can see his eyes are starting to get very wet and red, and then he kind of starts to shake. Hey, can I take this off?
Not until you tell me a story. And I'll glance over at the cops that are at the end of the alleyway. And you might not want to be too loud.
Okay, all right. Look, man, that's. And he looks down at the sleeves again. He goes, I think this was my girlfriend's blood.
What was her name?
Cheryl. She wasn't here. We came here, me and my friend. He's a bit of a drunk. And Cheryl, he looks down at the cops again. He looks back. Cheryl, she makes whiskey.
Bathtub gin?
Yeah, that too. And we were just coming to get him a drink. And then we saw the blood, and he looks down at the sleeves again. I don't really know.
Is she still up there?
I didn't see her. Well, no, that's not true. Come back to you, Grace. And he's like, yeah, I don't really go in the kitchen, man. We wanted to leave, and then there was somebody out there, and every time we tried to leave, and so we didn't leave. We just kind of stayed.
What did this person look like?
I didn't really get a good look at him. He had a big old mustache, but we just kind of, he was in the hallway, and he looks over at Miles. We just didn't want to go, so we just decided just to hang out here.
Color drains from my face a little bit as I'm kind of relive what happened to me in the kitchen with the guy with the big mustache. And I'm still for a moment because that just kind of gets to me.
Yeah, but so I mean that's kind of everything that's going on here, so yeah, I could really use a drink, I didn't mean any trouble for you guys. You guys ain't cops, right? You're not cops, right? He looks over at Miles. Miles, you still have your gun out?
Yep.
Please tell me you're not cops, right? I mean, we didn't do anything. We didn't kill anybody.
Do we look like cops?
You don't look like cops. And I don't have to, you know what? And if you just let me go, I don't have to tell them that you came here to get anything to drink.
I think we've got all we can out of him, Miles.
Maybe O'Brien wants to talk to him.
I'm done with him. Do with him whatever. I'm done.
You can let me go. That's what you can do. You can let me go.
Like I said, maybe O'Brien wants to talk to you.
Look, I don't even know who that is, so I'm probably not going to...
You don't know who O'Brien is?
I'm probably not going to be any help to him at all,
Oh, I'm sorry, not O'Brien, O'Reilly.
I still don't know who that is, man. So I don't know if there's a lot I could tell him. I could just really use a drink, Maybe, hey, you got a gun. You got a gun. You could help me leave.
You could shut up.
Okay. We cut back to Bam Bam. But this time Irving's coming around the side at this point.
I put my hand on the guy with the coat shoulder, and I'm catching my breath.
Is everything okay?
Did you have to go down all those stairs?
Well, sorry. He kind of scared me when he busted through the door.
Yeah, this one seems to be running away from his girlfriend.
Hey, look, all right. He kind of leans back against the wall. Okay, look. We went in there to get my friend a drink. She wasn't at the apartment. So I go there and I see her often. So I went in the kitchen to go and get her a drink. And then I walked in there and I saw her get killed or get stabbed like a lot. And then next thing I knew, I woke up and I was like laying on the floor and there was blood around me. And then me and Benny, we got up to go. We get on the hallway and there was somebody in the hallway and he was staring right at us and he had a knife and we shut the door and we just kind of like laid low. And we've been laying low because every time we go out there, we keep seeing that guy.
Guy with a knife. Describe him.
And we don't stick around to get a look at him. It looks like he's got a nice suit on and he's got a thick mustache. And Benny swears he kept seeing a knife, and I never saw a knife, but I saw that mustache. He's got nice shoes. And he looks big and tough like you, man.
So, Irving, you think it's possible for somebody to black out like that?
Well, I mean, whew. You know, our mutual friend did just collapse in the kitchen. I mean, just now.
True.
Yeah.
So, did you find anything up there?
There wasn't anyone in the hallway. I came in twice.
Yeah, maybe he left. Or maybe he just decided to. I don't know. But he kind of gave us a bad feeling.
Is the only way out of this alley past the cop?
No, you could continue down the way that you came, like the way Irving just came, and that would take you away. And right now it looks like if the cop is there, and he is,
Okay.
Glogowski, he's probably in his car because it's a little chilly out. Miles and Grace, what are the two of you doing? He's just sitting there. He's being quiet. You told him to shut up, and you got a gun, so he's not sassing.
Yeah. I'll let Grace decide what she wants to do with him.
You want me to go look?
Grace, you should totally go look in the kitchen.
I don't know. I don't want that to happen again. Reliving someone's death once is quite enough. Well, I've basically kind of stopped my line of questioning and basically am letting Miles do whatever he wants with him. If he wants to send him to O'Reilly or just open the door and let him go, that's on him. Because I'm done.
All right, if she's done, I'll let him go.
Yeah. So I'll just go and I'll go get Calvin and we'll just go. Right? Yeah. And everything's fine, right?
I don't care what you do. I'm done with you. Get out.
Okay. Yep.
Shut up.
Okay.
And get
All
out.
right. He gets to the door and he opens it and he pauses. He looks back at the two of you and he kind of finger gestures out the door and you could see he's visibly shaking and he peeks around the door briefly and comes back and then looks again and then steps out. He just kind of stands just past the entryway a little bit and then you hear a few steps and then a bunch of rapid steps after that as he clearly starts beating feet out of the building. Back down to the two of you.
Quick question.
Yes.
Was there an actual body in the kitchen?
The only body that you saw in the kitchen was Grace's.
Okay.
There was just a lot of blood on the floor that wasn't Grace's.
Correct.
So if you watched Cheryl get murdered, where is she? Where's the body?
Okay, look, that's the thing is I didn't watch her. Well, I watched her, but I didn't watch her. I saw it like it was almost like it was me. That look, I don't drink, man, very much, but I know that sounds like something a drunk would say or something that Benny would say, but I kind of saw it and like it was me, like it was I was getting stabbed, but I knew it was her, and I never saw a body.
What do you think, Irving?
What's your name?
Calvin.
You don't have a last name? Calvin?
Look, do we gotta go that way? I mean,
Well, let me put it this way. You're saying you saw someone get killed and didn't bring this information out because you were scared of a man standing in a hallway.
he was there. He gave us a really bad feeling.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's good. So I could right now, I have a camera on me, I could take your picture and I could take it over to the cops right now. Or you can give me your name, and that way, if we need to get a hold of you with more information, we can ask you and we don't have to get the cops involved.
Yeah, I would hate for you to have to leave the alley and walk right by the cops in that coat.
Fine. All right, it's Durbin, okay? Calvin Durbin.
Thank you. You should really get your coat cleaned.
Yeah, who walks around with coats like that anyway?
All right, point made. Look,
Bye-bye.
thank you. And he works his way around you and kind of goes down the alley or this way far enough to where he can, take another right and then disappears from view.
It's times like this when you kind of want to shout police, but, Shall we go back up those stairs?
All right.
So the four of you get back together up in the apartment. Grace, during this interim, or Miles even for that matter, are either one of you going to set foot back in the kitchen?
I may not set foot back in the kitchen, but I'm assuming that you can kind of see, like there's a pass through. You said there was a bar.
Yep.
Maybe look at what, as much as I can see doing that. But still a little shaken from what happened, so I'm not actually going to walk back in.
All right. You can easily angle yourself enough to definitely see plenty of blood. Miles, what about you? What did you...
I'll go look.
You're going to go in the kitchen? Let's see, Grace hasn't said anything yet.
I'm going to kind of go, wait, as he's walking through. It's like, okay, never mind.
Make me a spirit roll, Miles, but at -2.
0.
Do you want to Benny that?
Yeah, I've got enough of them.
That you do.
Woohoo!
Nice. There you go. All right. Okay. So you cross the threshold into the kitchen, and now I'm going to have you make me another spirit roll. This time, though, you get it at a +1. All right. And you want to keep that 4? That it is a success because it's a 5.
Yeah, I'll just leave that.
All right. So you cross the threshold and you get a chill kind of goes down your spine and you feel a little unnerved and you have to kind of steady yourself against the stove, which is kind of like right on the other side. So you steady yourself and your vision goes a little blurry, but you don't fall or anything. And then you kind of get these flashes of memory, but there's a little bit of disassociation with them in the sense that you are more the viewer as opposed to being the participant. And you see this woman, this red-haired woman, and she's wearing a white shirt, and she's running into the kitchen, and she has what looks like a broken bottle kind of flipped over in her hand. And this other guy who is coming at her, who looks very much like the guy that you saw in the hallway. He has the same kind of shoes and he has that big thick mustache, and he's coming at her and he has a big knife in his hand, and he just comes down and she tries to block the first blow with the bottle, but it is ineffective, although it looks like it scrapes against his suit a little bit. tearing it, but then the knife just kind of comes down and there is repeated stabs, and she falls to the ground and then just kind of does that dying person's thing where they pull their bloody body away from their attacker, and there's smears of blood, which you can now, of course, see on the floor. And then his shape kind of goes into your, steps into your view and blocks her out. And then it disappears, or it comes back to the room that you're in right now. And when you come to, you find yourself, you've steadied yourself against like two corners within the kitchen here, and are just kind of staring at the floor.
Miles, are you all right?
Yeah.
Did you see something?
I saw everything.
Did you see a man with a mustache?
I'll turn toward Grace. How do you know?
Because before I blacked out, I was stabbed by a man with a mustache. And the only thing I can figure is that was how Cheryl died.
And now, some wondrous words of wisdom about products to make your life better.
Okay, boys. Here's the perp we're looking for. Name: Tale of the Manticore. Description: short, wiry, doesn't pull any punches, so watch yourselves. Deals in classic D&D. Gets pretty dark at times. Tends to get violent too, so like I said, keep your eyes and ears open. You'll find this one hanging out in the usual spots. Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, you know the kind of places. Little bit story, little bit game. This kid doesn't know what he is. Expect chaos. Lots of chaos. Now, go get him.
Well, for something that started with a simple photograph, it's developing into something a lot bigger. With a little pluck, these four might soon start to know their onions, but we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, that's enough for now, so shake a leg till next time. But just so we're clear, the part of Grace Gunn was played by Joe Rich, Irving Holt is played by Brad Smith, Miles Pike is played by Scott R. Nelson, Tommy Bam Bam Prue was played by Brent Rich, and the boss in charge of this clip joint is Chris Hussey. I'm E.I. Wick, and remember, taking a wooden nickel is less trouble than a Ghost Rock dime.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour. This game references the Savage Worlds game system, available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings, and unique characters, locations, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Leaving a 5-star review of this podcast not only helps everyone here at the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour, it's also your civic duty. When doing so, please search for Fear the Boot Actual Play. Hexaco wants to remind you to make your car run like magic and always use great Hexaco products. Until next time, I'm Silver Sterling, reminding you to always keep one eye on the shadows.